And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We have returned here now that the break is over. We have some updates. It looks like the lower semifinals has concluded. I did just post an update in the chat, but herO did take down Classic 2-1. I believe that was casted over on Chicken Man's channel, so I shout out to Chicken Man, of course, one of the big names behind this tournament. And now we have the grand finals. It is going to be herO versus DRG. If you are in the chat, place your bets because predictions are open. Predictions have just opened up in the chat, so place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's KSL champion. Who is going to be the victor here of the Korean Starcraft League week number 26. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have our Protoss representative. We have the best Protoss in Korea, arguably in the world, representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing himself. It is Dongray-gu. DRG himself. He just took down Dark 2-0. On paper an upset, but if you watch the games themselves, very technical play, especially in game 2, a very reactive play in game 1. So yeah, a really impressive display of ZVZ from DRG in the semifinals. I apologize for not having predictions open for the semis, but everything was happening very quickly and I was kind of caught off guard, and we were just rushing into games. We weren't quite able to get it set up in time, but we do at least have predictions for the finals. So place your bets on who you think is going to be the victor here. Obviously, herO is coming in as the favored player, but Dark was also the favored player against DRG, so upsets, they've happened before, they can happen again. It is possible, it is possible. And here we go, DRG, he's going for a hatch gas pool opener, so very economic from our Zerg player. Meanwhile, herO just trying to be as annoying as possible with this probe, taking a lot of hits, but keeping it alive. And that is what is important. Just going to be disrupting the mining here with these mineral patches. herO, he does have the APM for it. Back at home, going for a gate expand into a cyber core. So again, a very economic opener here from herO as well. You don't get to see gate expands as often here as cyber expands, but you get to see it from herO, and we're going to be getting into our openers. I'm sure herO is going to be going for a Stargate opener. I can't remember the last time I saw herO go for a Twilight Council opener. I'm not saying it's not within his ability to do so, but yeah, typically, even if he's going to be aggressive with Glaive Adepts or with some kind of weird all-in, it's usually off of 3 bases and usually off of a Stargate opener. There it is. Stargate is thrown down as a part of the wall right under the Overlord of DRG. So DRG is fully aware of the tech that's coming his way. DRG will also see the first unit coming out. Whether it's an Oracle, a Void Ray, or a Phoenix, DRG, he will know. The confidence from herO to just throw it down as a part of this wall. Again, he knows that he can still get damage done with it, even if it's spotted ahead of time, and it is going to be that Oracle first. DRG has plenty of time to get ready for that. He's already got Queens on the way. They should be in position. We're about to have 2 Queens in the main and 2 Queens over at the 3rd base. And we'll see if herO can pull apart his opponents, not just with Oracle Harass, but also with Adept Harass as well. Go. First Oracle is just going to be on the way, looking to meet up with these Adepts. Again, 2 Adepts do one-shot workers, so this is quite a terrifying hit squad here for herO. Heading towards that natural base. 3rd Queen is about to pop out. Lings are coming back home. And herO is getting his 3rd base up and running. Even though he doesn't have his Adepts in position, because they're across the map, they're forcing the Lings to stay at home for DRG, and herO is able to expand without too much issue. Now, these Hallucination Scouts, they confirm that there are 3 Queens at the 3rd base, and herO wants none of that. We have a Spore on the way as well. So herO is going to be joining forces with his 2nd Oracle heading into the main base. Finds nothing of value here at the natural. Gets one drone. And may get the spore. Ooh, does force a cancel. Oh, but he rotates over towards the third base. The queens are out of position. And drones are going down. 3 workers. The Oracle barely survives. So really good movement out of herO. DRG just kind of being caught a little bit exposed. Caught a little bit off guard. And herO does a back off. He's getting his third base up and running. Behind this, we have our transition into a Twilight Council and a Forge. Pretty standard follow-up here for +1. And I imagine Blink. He can also head towards Charge as well. herO, he's got options. But there it is. It is going to be Blink and +1. A much more standard follow-up. As herO's just maintaining his map control. Lings come in for a surround, but we have the Oracles to support these Stalkers. And the Lings are forced back. So really good movement here from herO. He does have 2 Adepts across the map, and they do get eyes on the 4th base. Not going to be able to do much else. As herO does dip out of there. Behind this, I know we've been focusing a lot on the teching here of herO, but DRG, he's just been droning up quite happily. Nothing too fancy. We have gases on the way. Our lair commenced a couple of moments ago. We're getting +1 melee for these Lings. Speaking of the Lings, they do catch the Adepts. No shield battery! No shield battery, no overcharge. herO cutting some corners, not having any stack defense here at his third base. Will be losing his Adepts. As herO is looking to be very aggressive here. Okay, so herO is going for a 3-base all-in. He has 4 gateways. He's about to have 8 gates. He's going to throw down a proxy gateway across the map for a 9th gateway. He can go up to 10 gates. No gases here at his third. This is why he doesn't have he didn't have any stack defense. He's cutting a lot of corners to make this as powerful as possible. So a big mass gateway all-in is coming in from herO. Meanwhile, the Lings, they do bust into the third. They're gonna get a Stalker. They're gonna force everything back home. DRG buying a lot of time. He scouts the main base. He gets eyes on the production. DRG buying a lot of time. Can he make enough of an army? His Lings move out. He does come across the proxy gateway. Very important scout here for DRG. Is it gonna be enough though? As the gateway is about to finish up, DRG going straight for an infestation pit. Bold move, greedy move here from DRG. Here we go, herO, the Stalkers have arrived. Again, it's going to be 9 gates in total. Roaches going down. There are no Lings. We needed the Lings here to support, to buffer for these Roaches. But these have been expensive losses for DRG. He does force herO back. Again, herO's army is very battered, very bruised because of the Lings earlier. But again, there's no other tech. There's no Temple Archives. There's no Robotics Bay. herO is transitioning though. He's working on +2. He's working on Charge. Transitioning in a way. Like, he's still very committed. Not much here to protect at this third base. Again, very exposed. DRG, he's forcing Warpins back at home. Giving himself some breathing room. herO, he even got a shield battery. Oh my god. But herO is being forced back, exposing his proxy gateway. And if this gateway goes down, then yeah, DRG, he's held. He has held. He gets away with the infestation, but he's going for a hive. herO is expanding. He's going to try to tech up out of this. As the Oracles are keeping DRG busy, the gateway's depowered, DRG getting his 5th base up and running. And herO should soon be expanding, or I mean, not just expanding, but also taking some additional gases. He's still relying on a very low-tech army with Stalkers and with Zealots. Oh. No, what? I'm here. Am I not? What? Wait, what? I'm right here. Am I still connected to Twitch? No shot. I am. No. I'm looking at my connection to OBS is fine. No, Smooch. I'm disconnected from the game. I'm here, Papi. I'm here. We're fine. The ping is my We know. What do you mean, Dave? I'm here. No, don't take me away. I'm gonna disconnect. But feels Blizzard, man. Are we back? Yeah, I think I have to surrender. I'm gonna have to restart my clients. Feels bad, man. No. So I've lost connection to BattleNet, and the game will continue. Gonna slip into some DMs. Thanks, Blizzard. I'm gonna, I'm just gonna restart StarCraft. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. The game will continue. Check out Dave Tessa and Chicken Man. They are both streaming on their own personal channels. They're both casting this event as well, and they are covering game number 1. So thankfully we disconnected in a moment that wasn't really too impactful, as in like there wasn't a big fight going on, there wasn't like a big engagement happening. They did disconnect. I disconnected from the game when things were in a transition period. To catch everyone up, basically herO went for an 8-gate all-in. DRG, he defended quite well. He shut it down. We're transitioning into a longer game. DRG, he has a hive on the way. herO, he's working on charge. herO still hasn't teched up, so he's still very gateway centric with stalkers and charge lots. So it looks like herO is going to keep up the aggression, and we were about to get into that. Unfortunately, yeah, I won't be able to cast the rest of it. I'll give you guys a link. Check out, here you go, Chicken Man in the chat. And Dave Tessa as well, so you can pick who you want to follow. Again, shout out to Chicken Man and Dave Tessa. They are both the casters. Wait, the game ended? What? Wait. We're getting into the... What happened? Score? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, DRG won. We saw that DRG was ahead. We saw that he was doing a great job at shutting herO down, and herO was all in. herO, he didn't really have any other tech on the way, so he was being stuck on a gateway-centric army. It looks like right after I disconnected, the game ended. The game progressed for like 1 extra minute. DRG won the game. Okay. Ay. GG, we're getting ready for game 2. Oh my god. Wow. The more you know. Chat to, I see Umagos in the chat. DRG won, he overwhelmed the Stalker with Road Tribe Drilling. Exactly, yeah. Like, again, like, herO was all-in to begin with, so for the all-in to fail, herO had a really hard time taking out of that, and even though we didn't see the game itself or how it ended, the writing was on the wall. DRG had a really big advantage going his way, and yeah, really well done. Really well done. So we're getting ready for that second game. When the game paused for you, herO flinched, broke his hand on the desk, and now has to quit StarCraft. Smooch, Papi Smooch. Which means he's going to be playing the rest of the series with only one wrist. Only one hand. It's okay. He only has to play one-handed anyway. He's... Let's go. We're just getting ready here. Looks like we're going to be bringing some other casters in, so... Gonna take a moment before we get into game 2. Watch your back. Oh no. Not like this. It's okay, herO, he likes playing one-handed. His other hand was busy. So as a reminder, game 2 is going to be on Ancient Cistern, a much larger map. Unlike... I was going to say unlikely for herO to go for an all-in on this map. like we saw in the previous game, you can still do it. The power of like a 9+ gateway all-in is that you can reinforce whatever you want with that proxy gateway. But after seeing that style in game number 1 from herO, we shouldn't be seeing that again this series. We shouldn't be seeing another 3-base all-in, and herO has plenty more up his sleeve. But a really strong start for DRG. For him to be up in this series, for him to have taken down Dark earlier, really impressive. Really impressive stuff. As we're getting into our next game. I just caught up with Discord. And here we go. We're getting into our next game. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have the South Korean Protoss player representing DragonKaiZ Gaming, DKZ, down in this series, but not out. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing himself. Up in this series, it is DRG. I see Swarm Prime in the chat. Why only Duckling casting? No. There are plenty of casters. There's Dave Testa. There's Chicken Man as well. And I think Caitlyn is casting for the first time. I think Caitlyn may be casting. So, yeah, there's plenty of other streamers out there. I think today the difference is no other language streamers. So, there's no Maddox. There's no Into the Inu. There's no Enki. So usually we have like Spanish casters or Korean casters. For that we don't have any other language streams this week. I'm not sure. I imagine it's because they're all sleeping and getting ready for Masters Coliseum. I mentioned before, Masters Coliseum is this evening, and that's why a lot of the Terran players aren't here. It's also why a lot of the casters aren't here. Steadfast, that's the other one. Steadfast isn't casting because I'm pretty sure he's sleeping for Masters Coliseum. For us, we're also casting Masters Coliseum, but I think I'm lucky that I'm in a time zone where like we can cast it without issue. Like we don't have to miss out on events to cover everything. It's all good. We can just cast everything here. Let's go. The downside is that we just randomly disconnect from Battle.net for some reason. For no reason. Este Battle.net. I'm shaking my head. Shaking my head, Battle.net. Hopefully everything's okay and we don't disconnect again. It's very rare to disconnect from Battle.net, but anyway, we're getting back into this. And so far, hatch gas pull from our Zerg player from DRG. Meanwhile, back at home, herO just going for a gate expand into his Cybercore. So nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. Once again, the Stargate is thrown down as a part of the wall. Is going to be spotted here by DRG. He's going to be aware of the opener of herO. As the first adepts are moving out. But I think Steadfast is the only English caster that isn't here today. But again, he's probably, I don't know, maybe something came up or maybe he's just resting for Masters Coliseum. Meanwhile, Adept makes its way across the map. Gonna be harassing that mineral line. Doesn't quite get a drone though. Meanwhile, the Oracle has been spotted by the Overlord. DRG is fully aware. He's just gonna confirm before he dips back in or dips back out. And we have a pretty standard game so far. Pretty standard so far. We have a second Oracle behind this, getting into our second gateway. I love the movement here from DRG, keeping that Overlord in the dead space. Gonna be keeping it alive. herO is moving out. Likewise, the Lings are in position to deny that third base, but we can see that instead we're going to be expanding at the linear third location. So herO is going to be able to get it up and running without too much issue. DRG behind this, going for a fast Evo chamber. This is going to be for +1 melee. For those wondering, +1 melee is just again a phenomenal upgrade here in this matchup. It helps you against stalkers. +2 is a big power spike for Zerg because you're able to get into mineral lines and one-shot probes. There it is. +1 melee is on the way. That's standard stuff. It's what we expect to be seeing here. Oh! Ooh, as the oracles do dip into the natural base, they do catch 2 of those drones. They did also force cancels of more of these workers as well. So really good damage done here by herO. As he's going to be rotating over towards that third. Towards that third base. But DRG's in position. He's got his Spore. He's got his 2 queens. And, oh, herO. Oh my. He's going for a Phoenix to shut down the Overlord. And he is not going for Blink. He's going for Charge. He's going for a War Prism as well. How many gateways? This is going to be 6 gateways in total. Very little saturation on this third. And herO is about to hit very hard with charge lots. Okay, very unexpected. But a very strong charge timing is on the way. There we go. He throws out additional gateways. this is another all-in from herO. My god, he just is not stopping. We saw a 3-base all-in in game 1, and we're seeing something very similar here in game 2. I say similar because this time it's with charge and not blink. Now, another reason why I'm saying this is an all-in, other than the 8 gateways off of 2 bases, or sorry, off of 3 bases, is no forge. There's no forge, there's no upgrades, which means there's no longevity to this army of herO. There's no Templar Archives for Archons. It's just straight up charge. The longer this game goes on, the worse it's going to be for herO, because again, he just doesn't really have a lot going his way for a later game. But here we go, the charge lots have arrived. There are oracles to support, a couple of adepts mixed in as well. Roaches are on the way. You can see DRG trying to wall off, but the queens, they get caught out. 2 queens go down. A good choke point is set up at the natural. Roaches are on the way. Another massive warping of zealots behind this. Drones are going down. Big stasis trap on those workers. That will save them, actually. That will keep them alive. As another stasis trap does get triggered, and DRG is slowly making his way back towards the third base. He wants to keep it alive. He wants to save it. But there are still so many zealots. Drones are being pulled. Another stasis trap does go off. Roaches are slowly coming out. The drones, they came back too soon. 15 drones go down. And this is becoming too much damage. As zealots are getting on top of those roaches, it looks like DRG should barely be able to hold on. But the queens are going down. And these zealots have already done more than enough damage, and they're still getting more damage. They get on top of the roaches. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 2. We have a series. We are tied up 1-1. GG. Oof. So, in game 1, herO failed with his 3-base all-in. Here in game 2, he succeeded. Really came out of nowhere with just a mass charge. And DRG did not see it coming ahead of time. He did have a Roach Warren. He had +1 on the way. But he was unable to scout the all-in. His Overlord was shut down by the Phoenix, and he didn't have any Lings. He didn't have any Lings out on the map to scout the move out. So DRG was in the dark, and he had to very quickly react to the Zealots as they were in his face. He was able to get a wall going at his natural, but he wasn't able to save the workers at his third, and yeah, he had to expose himself as well to try to save the third base. So very well executed, very well hidden as well from herO, to be able to keep that, you know, in the dark, or keep DRG in the dark. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we are going to game 3. We have a back and forth. It's not going to be a 3-0 in either direction. And herO has some momentum now, and momentum that I think he needed, especially after game 1. It was very surprising to see DRG come out ahead. Oh boy. And herO, he's really showing us that X factor. Even though, like, if you remember, coming into game 2, I was making the assumption, I'm like, mate, we're probably not going to see a 3-base all-in again. Like, it failed in game 1 when we shouldn't see it again this series, but we see it straight away in game 2. A different variation, of course, but it shows us that herO, like, again, no fear, he's not afraid, is willing to just be hyper-aggressive and hyper-assertive, and he's unpredictable like that. He can be unpredictable. Again, I'm sure DRG as well thought that he was getting into a longer game, a more macro game, So just caught off guard by the aggressive nature of his Protoss opponent. And here we go, we're getting into our next game. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon Kaiser Gaming, DKZ. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing himself in a tied up series. It is DRG. Catching up with the chat. Morning coffee SE2. Howdy light. Hello Imno. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Good morning. Good morning if you're in the land of Europe. Good evening if you're in the land of America or the North Americas. And good day if you're in Australia or Southeast Asia. As we are currently in the middle of Saturday. I say the middle, it's 3 p.m. here in Australia, 3 p.m. I know the Europeans are waking up and the North Americans are going to bed. Latin Americans are going to bed as well. But we're here in the finals. We're here in the finals. Great way to go to bed or wake up. Either or. It's StarCraft. It's, you know, any time is a good time for StarCraft. As we do see herO once again going for a gate expand here into that cyber core. So a very greedy opener, but we've been seeing this every single game so far from herO. Very economic stuff. As back at home, DRG is just going for a hatch gas pool. So nothing too fancy when it comes to the opener. It's just economic variations here all around. I'm falling asleep. Hello, Slow Bro. No clone in the chat. Mondo as well. Annyeong haseyo. Hello, Mondo. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. Just got here. How did DRG win game one? Hello, Die Forever. DRG won game one by shutting down a 3-base all-in from herO. Was able to find the proxy gateway of herO and shut it down ahead of time and really gain a lot of momentum. But here we are in game number 3. And so far, nothing too fancy. We just got our 3rd base on the way. We can see herO just expanding behind this. Oh, sorry, I say getting his natural behind this, getting into his Stargate. Interesting, but we do have a Void Ray first. And this is where I have to talk about what herO has been doing recently. Now, if you've been casting, if you've been watching herO over the past month of play, you would be aware that it's not just herO, but a lot of the Korean Protoss players have been very fond of rushing into Sky Toss. But not your standard Sky Toss. They've been rushing into a Fleet Beacon, into a second Stargate, and into multiple carriers. Into 4 carriers specifically. You get up to 4 carriers, and then you transition into Blink, into +1, into Ground Toss. And they've been doing this a lot in this matchup in PvZ. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it at some point this series. The Void Ray is a good way to hide that, if that's what herO goes for. For now, he's going for an Oracle behind this. He's setting up for a 3rd base. We'll be keeping our eye on herO, not just this game, but this series, to see if he does whip that out again. As it has been a really interesting way and a really cool way to make use of those carriers, but not rely on them, and try to force the Zerg player to overreact instead. For now, I do love that herO, he's banking up Oracles. The Void Ray hides this. The Void Ray, because it shuts down the Overlords, DRG doesn't know. He doesn't know if there's a Fleet Beacon, a second Void Ray, a Twilight Council. He doesn't know what's coming out. And herO, he's just banking up, waiting for 2 Oracles before he moves out. And we do have our transition, Twilight Council. Okay. Not a Fleet Beacon. Let's go. It's going to be a Twilight Council on a Forge. Should be for +1 and Blink. First 2 Oracles are moving out. These have been hidden, and we'll see if DRG is ready for them. As 3 Adepts, shade into the main base, targeting down a lot of these drones. 3, 4, 6 drones going down as the other 2 go for a drive-by into the 3rd. DRG being pulled apart, unable to keep up here, losing 9 workers in total, and the Oracles survive. They take a little bit of hull damage, But for the most part, they are going to live to fight another day to go back in and get even more damage done. Meanwhile, my eyes are on herO. It's going to be charge again. So this time it's charge with +1. We should be seeing a Templar Archives with this. We should be seeing Archons with this. So charge or Archon going to be on the horizon for herO. Lings are going for a bit of a run by. Oh, the Zealot is revealed. This is a bit of a tell. Oh, as a lot of Lings go down to the Oracles, that was a little bit wasteful. Ay, ay, ay. 16 Lings for 1 Zealot. Not quite worth it for DRG. A lot of Larva is wasted there. There is that Templar Archives on the way at the natural. So again, this is going to be charge lots with Archons. This is going to hit hard. Ideally, this hits with the Warp Prism. By the time the Warp Prism gets across the map, we can warp in High Templar for maybe 4 Archons, and we reinforce with Mass Zealots. So 2 to 4 Archons, Mass Zealots. This hits very hard, but I'm getting ahead of myself because we don't just have an Archon charge lot composition. We have a Robotics Bay as well. Is it spotted? It is. Very good scout by DRG. Looking at his vision, he was able to see the Templar Archives and the Robotics Bay as well, so he's fully aware of the ground toss that's coming his way, and he reacts with a Spire. Bold move. A bold move because obviously we have a Stargate, and herO, he can go for Phoenixes if he scouts this, but basically a Spire works really well here because there's no blink. There's no blink. There's very limited anti-air available for herO. Meanwhile, the Zealots do make their way across now. They do catch one of the Queens. They almost get a second Queen as well. Making their way towards the main base, but they are denied entry of the main. And again, without Blink Stalkers and without Phoenixes, DRG's Mutas, they can do a lot of damage. Obviously, Archons, in a head-to-head fight, Archons do well, but we're not going to have that many Archons. We're gonna be spending a lot of our gas between Archons and also with Disruptors. We're focusing on Zealot production here. So Mutas can still do well. Will they come out in time though? Because herO is being hyper aggressive. He's pushing out with 2 Archons with a Disruptor. Looking to catch DRG with his pants down. Nova goes off. Big connection on the Queens. And before DRG can make a single Muta, herO has arrived. He takes some bailings to the face, but good control. GG gets called, and herO takes game number 3. GG, a very, very strong timing there. We mentioned earlier that herO was going to be hitting with his Prism, going to be warping in 2 to 4 Archons. He only made 2 Archons because he had a Disruptor behind it, and DRG, I do think that the Spire would have been a great move if the game was going, if we were going for a longer game, a later game. But herO, he did his hack then and there, and DRG, he skipped his Roach Warren. He only had Lings and Banelings to defend, and that was near humanity. Very short rush distance by ground. You don't have a lot of time to react. DRG was not ready. GG. GG, well played. Oh. I wanted to see the Mutas, Papi. I wanted to see the Mutas. Didn't quite get there. Our next map, though, a lot better for Mutas. In saying that, herO has been going for these big 3-base all-ins every game so far. That last game, I would say, like, 3-base timing. I don't know if I would go as far as to say all-in from herO in that last game. But 3-base play. Every game so far from herO. Our next map is on Altitude. A very large map. I feel like herO is probably going to shift gears here, but it's herO, so it's... I don't know if I can say that with confidence. I don't know if I can make that assertion. It's herO, Papi. He's crazy. And he is here in the bottom left. In the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have our South Korean Protoss player, 1 game away from advancing on here and becoming this week's KSL champion. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner. He's up against the wall. 1 more game, and he forces the ace match. He needs to win. Here and now, we have the blue Zerg player, DRG. Uno mas, Papi. 1 more is all he needs. Is all herO needs to become the champion. DRG needs to fight back here and now, and I worry for him. Like, this entire series, clearly DRG has been wanting to go for longer games. He wants to get into the mid game at least, That's where he's at his strongest. But he has been denied that time and time again. herO being so aggressive every single game. On altitude, I want to believe that DRG is going to have some breathing room, and Muta's Spire play can work really well on altitude. But I'm sure herO is aware of that, and herO, he has a game to work with. Like, he has a little bit of leeway, a little bit of breathing room in this series. So herO may just go for a 3-base all-in again. Like, he may... or a strong timing attack, I should say, which is what more of what I would attribute to that last game. But yeah, I'm really curious to see where herO takes this. I mentioned earlier that we have seen herO go for some Flea Beacon play, some Sky Toss play here in this matchup, which is true, but we've been seeing it more on maps like Ancient Cistern, Neo Humanity. Altitude, it's a little bit difficult. The problem with altitude is that these bases are really spread out. So on the one hand, you have a lot of room because it takes longer to get across the map, so the rush distance is longer and you're a little bit safer as a result. But these bases, like this third and this fourth, they are so far apart here. It can be really difficult for a Protoss player to defend both the third and the fourth at the same time. And it can be a lot easier for the Zerg player to just pull the Protoss apart if we're going for a longer game. And we're not, because herO is going for a Twilight Council. Pylon is thrown down behind the mineral line. Twilight Council's thrown down. Robo is on the way. We haven't pulled out a gas. We haven't even thrown down the second gateway here. Is this going to be a Dark Shrine opener? Oh my. Okay, for a second there we had a sentry, which was crazy. I was like, wait, what? Twilight Council is done. Are we feeling DTs here? No, we're going into Glaives. Okay, we do pull out a gas. There we go. Do pull one worker each out of that gas, guys. We're going to be going for Glaive Adepts. Going to be throwing down additional gateways. And DRG back at home is none the wiser. So far, he hasn't seen too much. He does spot the Stalker, which is a piece of the puzzle, but I mean, herO has been opening up Stalker. We saw that on Ancient Cistern as well. So DRG, he's not going to be able to see this ahead of time. Ideally, he should be fanning out some Lings. And there we go. Lings are moving out to catch any kind of move out from herO. It's going to be 4 Gate Blink Stalkers in total. So very standard here from herO. Not too fancy. 4 Gate Blink Stalker is very tame. From here, he can expand. He's not all in by any means. This is only to apply aggression. Sorry, to apply pressure, to be aggressive. And to, never mind, double down, because this is now a 2-base all-in. It's not 4 gate, it is 6 gate Glaive Adepts. Let's go. 6 gateways are on the way. herO that much more committed. He wants to end this series here and now. What do we have at home to defend? DRG, he's got a Baneling Nest on the way. This is a very risky way to defend against this. You have to rely on your Banelings to connect. Your Banelings have to keep up with those shades. Meanwhile, DRG getting in position, zoning away herO. As herO pulled back into gas, taking a gas here at the natural. And this third gas geyser should be a tell to DRG. It should be a tell that his opponent's going all in. Or he's transitioning. It could be one or the other. And we know that it's all in. As DRG is just focusing on just making nothing but Lings. Banelings are now on the way. So far, he's done a great job at keeping herO at bay. But more Adepts are coming. 6 being warped in at a time. We have more waddling across the map as well. Good surround here from these Lings. 2, 3 Adepts, 4 Adepts go down. herO, he's having a really hard time executing this. Oh, not the best Baneling connections though. They connect on the Stalker. Regardless, DRG gets on top of a lot of those Adepts. We do have another big warp in. A Dark Shrine is thrown down behind this. This is a bit of a desperation move from herO. So far, DRG is holding, but he lost a lot of Banelings earlier, and he only has 2. He only has 2 Banelings left. Oh. Also, I just realized, DRG, okay, he's getting us around. The Banelings, they will connect with this army. DRG, he shuts down the Adepts. We have another warp into the main base, but herO, he's running out of steam. He's running out of momentum. Now, what's scary is that DRG did not throw down the Spore. No Spores, no Lair. Very greedy here of DRG to not throw down a Spore. It is typically done even when defending against Glaive Adepts because DTs are a follow-up. They are a common follow-up to Glaive Adepts. And DRG is cutting corners, which means the Dark Shrine is done. And DTs could end the game, but they get spotted. They do get spotted. DRG, he needs detection. He needs the Spores. The DTs, they get dropped into the main base. The Spores are on the way, but I don't think they're going to finish. Oh, no. Not like this. They're going to get the hatchery. They're going to get everything. The Banelings, they waddle in. Good connections, but they only take down 2 of those DTs. We have more DTs on the way. GG gets called. DRG, he defended against the Glaive so well, but he cut corners. He had no detection. GG, herO will be this week's Korean Starcraft League champion. GG. DRG not having any detection, whether it would have been a Lair or Spores. And again, even when you see it, when you scout a Twilight Council opener, you throw down Spores anyway. It is the common thing to do just because this is a possibility. Just because DTs can end the game. And DRG, you know, just being a little bit greedy there, decided not to have them for safety, was punished for it. And just like that, herO, he is going to take the series, and he is this week's champion. Congratulations. Congratulations to herO. GG, well played. I would have loved an ace match. You know, I'm not saying that, like, again, herO was the favorite player. He was the favorite player anyway. He was coming in as the big name. But DRG, he played well. He played well today. He 2-0'd Dark in the semifinals, and he almost forced the ace match against herO. So, well played to DRG. Very impressive, especially because DRG, he isn't on a team anymore, and he's been around for a long time. He's not as successful as like Dark or Solar. Like Dark and Solar, like when it comes to Zerg players in Korea, all eyes are on them. DRG, he's kind of in their shadow a little bit, so really impressive run here and really impressive results. DRG, he's a great player, and I hope to see more. I hope to see more of DRG in the future, because yeah, you know, he's clearly he's one of the best out there, and yeah, it would be a shame if he were to step away. Basically what I'm trying to get at is, if you're a team, pick him up. Does deserve to be on a team. So GG of course. And if you're in the chat, hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I collapsed. Thank you for the cast. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Is KSL the same time every week? Yes. So if you're curious, the Korean Starcraft League is a weekly tournament, except we did skip last week. The only reason why KSL was not on last weekend is because of the SummerSlam. There was a special KSL event called the Korean Starcraft League SummerSlam. It was a major event here run by Chicken Man, by Dave Testa, by the people behind KSL. So we took a week off in favor of the SummerSlam instead. So that's why we didn't have it last week. But typically, every single week, every single Friday in North America or Saturday in Europe and everywhere else, here in Oceania and Southeast Asia, every week we have the KSL. And if you enjoy this tournament, if you want to support this tournament, !KSL in the chat. !KSL does give you a link to the Patreon. Does give you a link to the Patreon page where you can support this tournament. Do I remember wrong, or wasn't there another Protoss named herO in the past? Yes, there were 2 heroes. If you remember, back in the day, there was CJ Entus herO, which is this herO, and there was Liquid herO, which is herO with a capital H. So that was the way to distinguish between them when it comes to their names. There was CJ herO, which is lowercase h, and Liquid herO, which was capital H. Liquid herO has since retired. Long time ago, Team Liquid's herO retired. I think like a year or two into Legacy of the Void. He did compete in Legacy of the Void, but not too long, not for too long. So Yeah, he did step away. And this herO also stepped away, but he went to do his military service. He conducted his military service. herO has since returned from the military, and he is now the best Protoss player in Korea. Arguably, he's top 2 in the world. So you can argue between herO and MaxPax back and forth. I think I would say herO is currently a little bit better than MaxPax, but again, you can make your arguments for that. And yeah, it's been really impressive to see herO just rise to the top post-military, looking so damn good and leading the way for a lot of Protoss play and a lot of Protoss meta. GG. GG. But with that, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. If you want to tune into more of the CranKy Ducklings, !socials. We have plenty of commands in the chat. !socials in the chat. You'll get a link to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have a YouTube channel. We have a Discord server as well, so you can interact with us outside of just these casts. If you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, you can wake up early in the morning in America, or you can stay up if you're in Europe or in other parts of the world. We have Masters Coliseum in 6 hours. Ooh, it's not that long. 6 hours from now, we have our next cast, Masters Coliseum. I mentioned it earlier, if you weren't here. We were missing some players. We were missing some players in this week's KSL. We were missing Byeon, we were missing Cure, we were missing Maru, the Korean Terrans. Where were they? They're getting ready for Masters Coliseum. They are in a major event, a major premier event that's going on tonight. It's been running over the past couple of weeks, like 2-3 weeks. We've had 2 weeks even. We've been casting the Masters Coliseum, and we are nearing the end. This weekend is the finals. Tonight and tomorrow are the last 2 days of Masters Coliseum, where players like Byeon, Cure, Maru, MaxPax, serO, and Clem are duking it out to determine the Masters Coliseum champion. So a big event going on. A lot of money is on the line. And yeah, that is what we are covering in 6 hours. 6 hours. So if you are interested, then we got you covered there. We got you covered. They have creator. Oh, right. There's a quote unquote real Home Story Cup going on. If I remember correctly, there's a Home Story Cup that's going to be a very special, a very nostalgic version of it that is not going to be taking place at the complex of Take TV, which is where it usually is. And it has been over the past most recent years, like 5 years or something. But it's going to be at Dennis's apartment, if I'm not mistaken. It's not the same apartment. I think he has a new apartment, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be a little bit different, but similar vibe where we're just going to be cramming all these players into an apartment and forcing them to play StarCraft. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not too sure on the dates. I'm not too sure of the dates on the new Home Story Cup. Let's double check. Real Home Story Cup. That's what they're calling it. It is going to be... Oh my god, I didn't even know. It's this weekend as well? Everything is going on at once. Jesus. It's also... Take... Scheduling. Apparently, Home Story Cup is going to be at the same time as Masters Coliseum. Which also makes sense as to why there are certain players that aren't going to be there at Home Story Cup. Of course, Cyril's going to be playing in Masters Coliseum, not in Home Story Cup, so... So, yeah, it looks like there's going to be some scheduling overlapping, unfortunately, but, you know, we can't really complain about too much StarCraft, as everything will be casted, and, you know, you can open up multiple tabs. It's okay. It's all good. All good. I'm sure that Take TV will also release replay packs. So if they do, then we'll be casting Home Story Cup on this channel as well. Just in a couple of days after they release the replay packs, especially because it's going to be happening at the same time as Masters Coliseum. I'm all for covering the group stage of Home Story Cup via replays. Maybe next week. So keep your eye out for that. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We are done here for now. We're going to be back in 6 hours. And if you want to tune into some more of myself, I'm Live VIP. I do stream on my own personal channel, typically during the week, not over the weekend because we're busy over the weekend. But during the week, I do stream on my own personal channel. You can click on the Twitch title if you're interested. I do some Zerg ladder gameplay, otherwise some Diablo 4, sometimes some Final Fantasy 14, and some other games, just to chill outside of these casts. Otherwise, again, if you're only interested in StarCraft 2 casting, in our pro coverage of StarCraft, then follow us on the CranKy Ducklings. We got you covered there. Plenty of StarCraft going on here on a daily basis. So yeah, do check us out if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you guys in 6 hours for some Masters Coliseum. Until then, bye. Hasta luego. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.